My brother Prince, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. And yourself?
How's it going, man?
Well, besides the cold weather, everything is just awesome.
At least I got you some tea, eh?
Yeah, at least to keep me warm. And also, it's warm in here, so I can't complain that much.
Yeah. Let's tell me about yourself, man. Who are you?
Well, all I can say is just Prince is just a simple guy, an open book. Why am I saying an open book? Usually when people say an open book, they don't really are open about everything, but an open book from my status, my lifestyle and everything since being born HIV positive. And this year I'll be celebrating 32 years living positively with HIV.
How many years? 32 years.
Yes, I'll be celebrating 32
Wow.
years living positively with HIV. So when I'm saying I'm an open book, that includes that I'm open with everything, and it's no longer a secret. It has never been a secret when it comes to my HIV status. Even on social media, that's what I'm advocating for, doing an adherence coach. I also give myself an occupation as social media adherence coach. So yeah.
Talk about your childhood, where you grew up in, the family that you grew up in. How was it like?
Well, I was born in the East Rand,
Okay.
but I was raised in Soweto in Bramfisher. So growing up there, it was just okay for any child to grow up there.
Yeah.
The only problem with me is that out of all the children that we were playing together, the problem it was that I kept losing weight. And losing weight. That was back in 2002, 2003. My mom firstly picked up that I was falling sick when I was started losing weight drastically for my age. And being a child, whenever you were given food,
Yeah.
I would hide my food inside the cushions there by the pillows, and I'd ask myself, why? Because the same person who gives me food is the same person that cleans the house. And hiding the food in the cushion, thinking that, she won't find them and stuff like that. I don't know what was I thinking. But then we went there to go test, because I had to go test for my HIV status, because I got it from my mom. My mom got it from my dad. But back then, the stigma, it was so high that my mom actually hid it from my stepdad because she didn't want my stepdad knowing. So from a young age, being HIV positive, it's clearly an obvious thing that I got it from my mom. But instead, they use a story of my sister, whereby my sister was a sex worker. So she was once ill and came back home. She used my toothbrush. So whenever I wanted to brush my teeth, I would play around with my brush bristles. That's when I started noticing that, no, my brush bristles are wet. How come they're so wet? I've never used it. But then I just assumed that probably it fell in the sink while she was just doing her own thing, then just picked it up and placed it back. So I went through with it. That's how when we got tested, that's the story I was told, actually, that I got it from my sister. What was said, it was that out of all the food, can you imagine when they are eating fish and chips, that hake is fried, the smell, it's so good. But when you turn over to my food, I would actually eat boiled food. I would eat boiled chips. No fried chips, but I'd eat boiled chips. You can imagine how that tastes like. From hake, it would be boiled, just a pinch of salt. Everything, it was boiled. Hence, I never ate anything. I just chose to just put it inside the cushion and just leave it like that. So that's when it started. Then there was this lady who was just staying 3 houses away from my house. Since my house, it was some kind of a small shape in Yana. So whenever people came in to come and drink, they never liked how I was treated at home, because even the drinking utensils, eating utensils, when we were done with it, they would wash theirs first and they'll end up with mine, but they'll never put mine in the same cupboard as theirs.
Do you feel like you were treated somehow at some point?
Yes, I was treated differently, but
Okay.
then from now I understand why it was like that, because not everyone had a knowledge of what HIV was, because back then people were just dying every now and then.
Yeah.
So nobody had that full information. So that's why they just decided, that lady decided, like, no, there's a place that I know in Sparrows that can take Prince, great care of Prince. They'd offer medication, and there are kids who are like him. They just live freely. So that's when they took me to the social workers, and the social workers recommended me to go to Sparrows after they told them my story on how things are. That's when I moved to Sparrows in 2004, and that's when I actually started my medication by then. When I go to Sparrows, the same day I started my medication.
How old are you then?
I was 11. I was 11. I was 11. ARVs back then, it was just placed up in a different way.
Okay.
Because now it's just a one pill thing. Back then it was just capsules and just some small liquid, which it was D40, Stockrine, and Emtricitabine, which is 3TC. That 3TC, it was the liquid one, and you had 2 capsules. So in the morning you take 1 pill and that liquid, then at night you'll take all 3 of them. So it was 5 medication in a day. So that's how it went like. No, it was 4.
A couple of people that I spoke to who are HIV positive, they said the first time they drank the ARVs, it showed them flames. It took them to Jumanji land, like they got drugged crazy. When you took your first medication, did you not feel some type of way?
Coming to think of it, not really.
Okay.
Because I believe that medication works different on different people. It's not the same thing for everyone, because even now in this day and age, I'm drinking TLD now. It's just 1 pill a day. Most people, when they start, they say, and it has been proven that it has less side effects, but people will say, no, I see ghosts, I gain weight, insomnia, amnesia, you see. But then when I drink it, I don't have anything. And from the people that I've counseled so far, some started the medication and they have been calling me, hey, your friends, you told me about the side effect. When are the side effects coming in? I'm like, bro, if you don't get anything the first 5 days you start, trust me, there's nothing that's going to come, because it's way past that.
Let's talk about your childhood. I mean, like, you're 11 years old, living with the HIV. Any challenges?
Wow. Speaking of challenges, I don't see this as a challenge as such, but I just see this as something that was weird to the person that actually tested me back in 2003, because my mom had to hide it with something to pretend like, nah, I got it from my sister, knowing that my dad died of AIDS. So what happened was that when we went to the clinic to go test, at school they always tell you, think positive, be positive. Everything that you do, be positive. So as I went there and I got tested, when it said positive, I was like, yes. I'm like, no, why are you excited? I'm like, I'm positive. They were like, no, this is a just different type of positivity. I'm like, okay, cool. My mom said, when you get home, you don't tell anyone that you're HIV positive. Is that a problem? So I was like, yeah, no problem. Guess what? When I got home, as I was playing with my friends, I'm HIV positive and you are not HIV positive. So it was that thing that, okay, like even when I stay, I won't say the stigma was that much. It's just that depending on who it came from. Because I think a stigma is just a negative mindset.
Yeah.
Which you can change on how you think. Because most of the time when people just test positive, we always have that thing, I want to tell Justice that I'm HIV positive. What if he judges me? What if he just goes around and tells people what my HIV status is? What if he doesn't want to chill with me? What if he will not invite me to his podcast? Why do we take that what if in a negative way?
Yeah.
What if Justice won't judge me? What if Justice will support me? What if Justice will be the one saying, hey, yo, bro, today it's your appointment time. Let's head over to the clinic. And now it's 9 o'clock, bro. You got to take your pill. Why do we need to look at the what if in a wrong way? I mean, only your HIV status changes. And since it's positive, I believe that your mindset as well should be positive. Your actions, everything that you do, it should be positive, not just dwell on the negative part. Because once you dwell too much on the negative part, that's where it affects you mentally, emotionally, and it will definitely affect you physically. Because now you'll be drinking your pills, but people will be saying like, hi man, why is your skin like this? Why are your lips like this? Because most people ask me, you're HIV positive, but your skin, bro, is just something else. I'm like, should I maybe make it the tattoo of my ARV so that you can see that I'm HIV positive? Like, no, how do you do it? I'm like, just accept yourself. The biggest thing, the biggest cure or biggest medication you'd need for yourself is just acceptance. So from that young age, it was just something that I kept telling everyone. And it was weird not to tell people because back then they told us to eat garlic, beetroot, spinach, and all that. So
vegetables, yeah.
Yes. 3 times a day, my mom would call me, "Ayo, it's that time. I need to eat cloves." In the morning, I would eat a clove of garlic. During the day, cloves of garlic. Same thing at night, and garlic and a carrot. So we're playing. Then my mom calls me. I come back smelling garlic. Obviously, you're going to ask, why are you always smelling garlic? Because I'm HIV positive. I need to eat garlic. That's when my mom was like, nah, here we're going to have a problem because he's way too young to be talking about his HIV status, and everything's going to point back to me. So let's just use the sister story.
You talk about your mom, man. I can only imagine the kind of care that she had to give you. Because she's HIV positive, you're also HIV positive. What do you think was happening in her mind? Do you think maybe she blamed herself that, look at my child now today?
With regarding my mom, I can't say she blamed herself. She never blamed herself. The person that my mom was blaming, it was my dad. Because I could even hear the conversation as grown as I am back in 2000 and things only changed 2020 with my mom, but around 2009 you would be like, look at what his dad gave us. Now he's no longer here. Now we are here dealing with this. I'm like, stop blaming him. He's no more. He's at peace where he is.
Yeah.
It's just us accepting ourselves and just moving on. That's it. So blaming him, it wouldn't be fair because he's not here. Why should we blame him in this day and age? All we need to do is just accept ourselves for who we are and just move on. I know for some people it's never easy, but once you accept yourself, you'll see there's a whole lot of changes coming because it is hard for you to accept yourself, but you want the world to accept you. If like now, I know I have a big nose, and if I don't make jokes around and said, yeah, here comes this guy with a big nose, you were saying, nobody will tease me about that. But if they say, here comes big nose, and I'm like, I start sulking about it, obviously people are just going to take that and turn it to a joke whenever they say me, here comes big nose, and that thing ruins your confidence and ruins everything. But once you accept yourself, like now, whenever I go on TikTok, I do my lives. I always say in my introduction, this is the new age Nkosi Johnson, aka Prince or the HIV Talks. That guy who makes HIV so fashionable that HIV negative people will be asking, where can we get HIV so that we look like you? And I say, even if I can give you 20,000, go buy HIV. There's no store that sells HIV. So like, you're so proud of it. You're taking ownership. It's like you're making it a cool thing. I'm saying to them, I'm trying to change the narrative that the media has installed on us. Because if you can ask someone, how does an HIV positive person look like? They will always try to identify the late Nkosi Johnson that, no, they have ashy skin, they have curly hair, their lips are pink, they are skinny, you see ribs whenever they are not wearing T-shirts. But when I take off my T-shirt, they see abs, they see six packs. Are you guys working out? No, I'm not working out. It's just the medication doing the work. So once you accept yourself, it's difficult for the world out there to tease you because already, since you accepted yourself, there's nothing they can tease you with.
Bro, you speak about something very interesting, and which was going to be my follow-up question. People judging people with HIV. People that have HIV they've been judged for many, many years.
And they are still getting judged.
Like, if somebody would find out that somebody is HIV positive,
yeah, most of the time it's that. Because even on social media, we still have people who are bashing people living with HIV. So I decided that I'm going to be voice of the voiceless. I'm going to be the bulletproof vest of those who are stigmatized. To such an extent, whenever I end my lives, my lives can go for like 3 hours. After I end my lives, I don't just get off TikTok. I just attend other lives. So you'd see my name, it's Prince Wadi HIV Talks. So whenever they say, it's Prince Wadi, and they start laughing, I ask, what are you laughing? And I comment, why are you laughing? Like, no, I'm just wondering. There was this other, I remember it happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
There's this friend of mine that I know. He was just doing live with his friends. So he was sitting at the back and his friends were in front.
Yeah.
So as they saw my name, they started laughing about it. And said, look at this guy, he just wrote Prince Wadi HIV Talks. Why do you HIV? And he said, let me see. That's my friend. I know him. He's actually getting clout from that. You should see his lives. As they attended my lives one of the days, they saw that I had like 500 views and more than 100,000 likes. And they were like, yes, this man is getting clout from HIV. And like, here you are now, you are teasing me when it comes to that. Then I told them that someone, like, it can be your friend amongst you guys. Someone might be HIV positive and they want to disclose to you. And you making those kind of remarks, where does that leave them? Do you think they will ever disclose?
No, they wouldn't.
They won't disclose.
Yeah.
They're spending most time with you guys. They don't take medication. And once you don't take medication, the virus won't get suppressed. And once it's not suppressed, things happen out here. You are out here driving, then you get into an accident. And now both of you have cuts. And remember, that one who needs to disclose hasn't disclosed. And they are still in the shadow about their status. And now you need help, and he has cuts, and he's helping you, or you are helping him. Remember that HIV needs an entry wound, an entrance point, and an exit point. There you go, helping each other. You have a cut here, you have a cut here, and now your bloods are just mixing up. Then you find out when you go and test, now you're HIV positive, and you're one person who usually go test every after 3 months. Now you are there wondering, where did I get it? Now you are going to fight with your girlfriend. Your girlfriend like, no, I don't have that. You go and you ask your exes, no, I don't have that. You're forgetting that your friend, you helped your friend the other day. And you don't even click on that. But when you know that you got it from a friend while helping out, how will that make you feel? Meanwhile, you're the one throwing jokes, HIV jokes around. So now it becomes hard for you because you want the society to accept you for who you are. Yet you are bashing other people. So let's just have look at this in a broad way, not just because most of the time why people are scared to talk about HIV because they believe that HIV is associated with promiscuity. They just think that, no, you need to sleep around in order for you to get HIV. And it's not that. You get an HIV just by trying to help someone. They have a card there, you help someone. You trusting someone with your life that, no, this is my partner. I believe that they are HIV negative. That's why I also encourage people to do a couples testing. Like I, for one, ever since I've started my relationship, I think the relationships I've been in, I think only one lady I've ever took her for testing. Otherwise, others have never done that. When they say they are HIV negative, I believe that because it's their word. So I've never actually been the one to emphasize on couples testing. But ever since I've noticed that couples testing, it is important. I always preach it. Go test and know each other's HIV status so that better the devil you know than you don't.
Man, you are young. You are 11 years old. Now you're a teenager now. You start to date. The first girlfriend that you had, did you have to disclose that you're HIV positive?
You know, what's fun about me is that from all my exes, people I've dated, even the one night stands I've had, they'll tell you that if you can ask what's Prince's HIV status, they'll let you know he's HIV positive because he's one person who just disclosed from the get-go. Because the only challenge I've had, it was just disclosing to this other girl, and she was like to me, you know, I like you so much, but this is just a baggage for me. I can't do this. Then I was like, oh, all right, cool. Then she went her way, I went my way. 2 years later, I see a call. I'm like, damn, she called back after 2 years. I'm like, nah, I missed this one before, so I'm not missing this call. Hey, yo, what's up, girl? Like, nah, I'm good. And you, what are you up to? Nah, nothing, I'm chilling. Yo, I'm just bored here. I wanted to come down, but I can't leave my place alone. So can I request for you to pull up? I was like, where? Like, somewhere in the burbs. I'm like, okay, cool, why not? So she requests for me, okay, bought the food, alcohol, everything is nice. I'm like, oh, nice place. And like, yeah, this is my place. I couldn't drive because I'm still getting my license in order. The car is there, so I'm like, okay,
oh, she bought a car.
They bought a car.
Oh, okay.
The house paid in the car. I'm like, okay, cool. Now we get deep in the conversation. You know, when the person starts kicking in, we're having a conversation. She's like, you know, one thing I regret in life is letting you go. I'm like, why now? Like, you became honest to me. You told me your HIV status. And I was like, nah, because I had less knowledge. I was like, nah, I can't deal with that. I can't be infected at a young age. Then I moved over. I found this hunky guy. Everything was nice. And now he bought me this house because he's trying to apologize that he infected me. I'm like, oh, sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. Like, my sorry, I didn't know if to really feel sorry for him. But it was just, oh, sorry. Don't worry. It's just life. How it is. Like, I really regret it because I went to him. He never told me anything. Now here I am. So now he bought me this house and a car just to keep it a secret since he's a big shot and all that. So not everyone's supposed to know the HIV status, like where she got it from. So he's trying to compensate for that. I get allowance every month just for me to stay a comfortable life. I'm like, oh, that's sad. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that, oh, I got to get that. That. I missed it the last time, but now I'm not missing that. Then after that, you're like, can we be in a relationship? I'm like, nah, I can't. I really don't date HIV positive people. Now it was sad to her, saying, how come you're not dating people who are HIV positive? Then I'm like to her, people have this mindset that if I'm HIV positive and you are HIV positive, we believe that, we all have HIV, so there's no need for us to use a condom.
Yeah.
And now forgetting that that's actually inviting a reinfection, because I might be taking one pill, you might be taking one pill, I might be virally suppressed and you're not virally suppressed. So what you're doing, you are reinfecting me, and now my body will reject that pill because it will be like, that pill is not working. And mind you, it's compromising my kidneys and my liver. Now they need to change my medication to second line, where I need to move from one pill to 2 pills a day.
Oh, it's like if your viral load is low and her viral load is up, now it's going to be like...
Yes, it'd be like I'm asking you to fill water in this cup while it has holes. Obviously, you won't go anywhere with that cup.
Yeah,
you keep drinking, but nothing happens.
Nothing is happening.
So whenever they take the bloods from the clinic and they just send them to the lab and try to check things out, it'd be like, nah, this one doesn't take medication. What's wrong with you? No, I'm taking medication every day. I always make sure that I don't drink herbal remedies or traditional herbs. I also use a condom. Then they will say, because we lie as people, nobody's going to be honest that, no, I'm not using a condom. In case I'm not taking traditional herbs, I take my pills on time. All of us will say, no, I use a condom, I don't take those traditional herbs, I make sure that I take my pills on time. But when they go to the lab will tell the truth that, nah, something ain't right here. And to them, they'll think that maybe this medication is not working. How about we switch them to this medication? They are switching you from the right medication to another medication that doesn't work. And now if it doesn't work, they'll think both of them are not working. Now they'll try to give you more pills to check what kind of medication will work for you. Only to find that now, no, you only keep reinfecting yourself. Hence, I always tell people that if you both are HIV positive and you want to do away with a condom, and if you guys are married, make sure that both of you guys are virally suppressed. Hence, there's U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmittable. Once you're undetectable, it's not transmittable. And it's possible for you guys, as you're both positive, you can have an HIV negative child.
Yeah. You spoke about traditional herbs. Are there people that are HIV positive that are trying to drink traditional herbs and they were told that they're going to be healed in the next week or a month?
As people depend on it, I think it depends on our mindset.
Okay.
Because we have people who will be like, okay, I'm HIV positive, I'm taking this pill. Then someone will say, no, maniega lo, wasambi yo peita lapu yo kata nje, tolele nje, umutika tabula mafuto mi bagete, everything would be okay.
Yeah.
And when you're taking that, it's actually the mindset telling you that, no, I believe this will help me. And find out that it's not working, because those remedies that you're going to be taking, remember, they are tackling what's on the blood. They are meant to clean your blood, right? Those traditional herbs. And the HIV, it's in the blood, and the medication tackles what's on the blood. And the traditional herbs are much more stronger than the Western medication. So once the traditional herbs get into your bloodstream and find the Western medication, it will sweep that out. And now from you being undetectable, you find yourself having like 5 million copies. If it was money, we would be getting a Porsche right now. But then people don't understand that. And then you find someone say, I'm always drinking my medication. They'll say, no, stop this herbs and just focus on your medication. You'll see change.
I'm just trading on this new platform, Pocket Broker.
Bro, they're all the same.
Nah, this one's like something you've seen before, but it's like way ahead.
Like how?
It's kind of like when you think it couldn't impress you anymore, it takes it to the next level.
Give me that.
Get 50% on your first deposit. Pocket Broker. Get ahead.
Hi guys, I hope you're good. Today I want to try out something very interesting. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT how to trade on Pocket Broker. And this is what it says. Number 1, sign up for an account. Number 2, complete your know your customer. So meaning that your identification documents. Number 3, deposit funds. Number 4, choose your asset. So Pocket Broker would offer you stocks like cryptocurrencies and so forth and so forth. Number 5, analyze your market. Number 6, place your trade. Number 7, monitor your trade. It's very important. It's very important. Number 8, withdraw your funds. Pocket Broker and get a 50 bonus on your deposit with my promo code EXPERT50. Oh, so every time when you drink ARVs, they get to be on your blood system, right? Yes. And if you start drinking other things, they flushes out the ARV medication.
Yes, that's how it works. And in most people, they like asking if, can't I get boosters for my medication or immune boosters? I'm like, to people, don't just get any boosters from over the counter. Before you actually take something with ARVs, rather consult with your doctor or your nurse first, because ARVs are a very jealous medication. They don't want it to be taken with other medication, including this medication. There's this TPT that they take, whereby it's TB prevention pills. You need to take them for a year, because once you are HIV positive, you are prone to TB. And once you have TB, you are prone to HIV. You can attract it easy. So once you are HIV positive and you don't have TB, they'll give you the TPT medication. You need to drink it for a year. It's a TB prevention. So once you take those pills, they also tell you that you can't take them together, because once you take them together, these ARVs won't work because you are taking with this medication. So they become lazy. That it's like, okay, you are calling me as an artist to come and decorate this room, and yet you call a painter. Like, what's the reason? I want to design something and draw, yet you call someone to come and paint over my work. So, okay, I'd rather sit here and not do nothing. That's how they work. They just prefer you just taking them.
Are you undetectable now?
Yes, I am.
How long did it take you?
My viral suppression doesn't take time. Hence, I say it depends on the body.
Yeah.
Ever since I stopped drinking my medication, it was early 2009 until late 2015. For that 18 months, I was just trying to be virally suppressed and boost my CD4 count.
Yeah.
So I think it was 2018. Yeah, 28 since from 2018. I've been virally suppressed from 2018.
Wow, man. I think I was busy reading, so I was making a research actually last night, and I found out that for somebody who's HIV positive, in order for them to have kids, they need to have their viral load down. So it needs to be suppressed. It needs to be undetectable. Yes. What is the secret that you had to do in order for you to be undetectable? Did you have to drink something? Did you have to go to the gym? Or you just had to be consistent drinking your pills every day at 8 p.m. or 10 p.m.?
There's no secret in that. It's like starting a relationship. In order for, if you are pursuing a girl, you can just call her today and call her back after 3 days or after 2 weeks and thinking that the relationship would work. In order for the relationship to work while you're still pursuing her, you need to be consistent in terms of communication, checking up on her each and every day. That's like medication. You need to take it each and every day. Then you'll see once you're doing each and every day like that, then eventually you don't see it physically, but once it goes to the lab, they'll show you that, no, we are from 5 million copies, now you are in 5,000 copies. Now you see that there's progress. You keep doing it each and every day, each and every day. Once you go back to the clinic, they'll tell you, no, which pickup point do you choose? Once they say, which pickup point do you choose? That's no. that you are virally suppressed, because now you can get them at there's just a couple of outlets where you can just pick up your medication from.
It's crazy, man. It's actually interesting, hey? Because I know there's a lot of people that are living with HIV in this country.
Yeah, I think the stats from correct, because I think it was 8 million something people who are living with HIV, but only 6 something million are on medication. And what I know is that there are 700,000 men who are not on medication.
700,000 men who are not on medication.
Yes.
In South Africa. Approximately, this is according to the government, there's 8.45 million. This is in 22. This is a stats from 22. 8 million people in 22. They're living with HIV.
Yes.
This is between the ages of 15 to 49. Crazy, hey?
And the majority of the stats that's high, they're between when it's from 15 to 49. But once we break them down from 15 to 24, those are the highest new infections coming in.
It is estimated that 19.6% of the population in South Africa is living with HIV.
Yes.
19.6%.
Yes.
Sure. Guys.
And imagine someone getting that one night stand and be like, okay, we won't buy a condom in school. Because one thing about people who are living with HIV and they're still haven't disclosed their HIV status, once you get them at the groove and say, no, let's go home, it's about that time, it's chai, and you don't pass by the petrol station to buy condoms and you just head home. Once you start doing the deeds, they won't ask you that you have a condom. You're like, okay, cool. Come in.
It's crazy, bro. Like somebody can be infected like that. Easy
like that. Hence now the stats, it's counting that the new infections, it's teens, young people. Because it goes back to having your blessers, your sugar mamas, whereby someone is paying for your time. So if someone like gives you like 50,000 a month and they want to be intimate with you and you want to ask them about using a condom, they're like, for what? I mean, I'm giving you money. So we're like, okay, it's cool. And females forget that most of the time they are in the receiving part. So once you are in the receiving part, it's easy for you to get infected, unlike a gent. So people miss that point.
It's crazy. On your social media pages, do you get people that are saying you're lying? Look at yourself. You look too fresh to be HIV positive.
Yeah, I do get that. I do get that a lot. And when I ask them, okay, how is a person who's HIV positive supposed to look like? Then they describe, no, you need to be skinny. You can't have such healthy hair. Your skin, it's so amazing. You look good. And judging from your pictures and the abs, no. And you said you are not working out, so you are lying. I'm like, hence the name, the new age Nkosi Johnson. I'm just trying to change the narrative on how people view people who are living with HIV, because they still assume that if you are skinny, I mean, we have people who are skinny by genetics.
Yeah.
And if that person is skinny by genetics or they have acne and they don't take good care of it, you'll just assume that, no, they're HIV positive. Just like now, as I was coming here, there was a comment I was reading that, what are the signs of HIV? I said on that video that I posted, there are no signs. All you need to do, go test.
But there's signs of AIDS?
Yes, there are signs of AIDS. Yeah. And the signs of AIDS comes after you failed controlling HIV.
So failing to control HIV leads
to AIDS.
Did you find yourself in a situation whereby AIDS is just knocking by the door?
You see now, it's great because I laugh about it. I make jokes about it.
Yeah, because you're healed, bro. Look at you. You look back, you're like, yeah, I am more than a conqueror.
Besides the conqueror, I was like going toe to toe with the devil right there. Like, you know, because I even have scars to prove that I was in the battlefield. From here on my neck, on my back, here. It was, I think it started It was okay. When I stopped my medication early 2009 because at Sparrows, it was amazing because we had caregivers whereby they would come in the morning, give you medication. If you're an HIV negative, they'd give you multivitamins. And at night, so we were spoiled like that because you knew that I didn't have to keep record or check time because I knew that they were always there. So moving home to go stay with my mom, now I needed to be the one taking ownership. I was taking my medications at 8 o'clock. But sometimes 8 o'clock would hit, I was still there by the corner, meeting new gens, growing up in the burbs and going back to the township. Everything from your skin, because of the food that you were eating, you're much more healthy, you look fresh. So, bengi chips babayo, like they wanted me off the shelves.
Cheers, boy.
So everyone wanted a piece of me. And what's awesome is that from growing up, we were taught that when you become intimate with someone, always use this. And I've never been that guy who wanted someone to say, Prince, I'm sick because of you. So it was so amazing that when I got home, sometimes I would take my medication around 10 and my mom would ask me, did you take your pills? I'm like, yeah. When I went out, because I knew I was coming back late, I had my pills with me just to get off my case. And I had to skip my pills for 2 days. 2 days turned into 2 weeks. 2 weeks turned into 4 months. 4 months turned into 3 years.
Sure.
3 years turned to 4 years. Then it was 6 years. I stopped for 6 years. Then 2015, I was in the East End in Foslora staying with my uncle. That's where everything started. It was so hot, but you'd find me wearing this bomber jacket, sitting in the sun. I'm cold. And we say, do you want ciggies? I'm like, nah, I'm good. Don't you want a beer? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just cold. Then when it was time to sleep, like I would shake, I would shiver like hell. When it came time for bed, I'd go in there and just try to drink warm water just to stop myself from shivering. I don't know where that mindset came from. There was this other time I was sitting by the couch and my cousin walked in late, was looking for my uncle. When she saw me, she was like, Prince, why are you so pale? Can you imagine a dark person being pale? Why are you so pale? I'm like, I don't know. Meanwhile, I knew what was going on. And I had, my mom, before I got sick, I think it was around April, because I got sick around October. My mom brought me moringa with soy milk. Kandi, that was the day I was writing CV for my stomach. That today you're gonna work. Yeah, I had a running tummy for those coming few months. And whenever I went to the toilet and I came back, I lost few kilos. Whenever I went to the toilet, I lose something. But I never noticed that.
So your body was rejecting moringa, ne?
I'm lactose intolerant. So certain milk, certain dairy products, I'm not supposed to take them. But that one that she brought, that brand, my tummy was waking overtime. So when she came and saw me like, and she called my mom that if you don't come and fetch Prince, this year you're bearing Prince. It never kicked in when my older brother came in to fetch me. As soon as I saw tears in his eyes, then I was like, now it's getting real now. Then we packed my things, then we came over, arrived in Bramfisher, saw my little brother. He cried as well. I was like, this thing is serious, Mus. And mind you, I don't see anything wrong with me.
But yes, they see everything.
I lost weight. On the mirror, I still see me.
Wow.
But now they can see that people are moving out. Only the structure is remaining. And you can't take away the structure because it's still there unless you collapse it. When my mom came back from work, it was around 8:30. As soon as she opened the door and asked, where's Prince? I was sitting on the sofa and there was a blanket here. You couldn't see, you'd think you'd come and sit and think that was just a blanket there. You could only see my head just popping out there. And she cried so much. I was like, hey, what have you done, Prince? Only when it kicked in, when they took me to hospital the following day. Do you know when you say you feeling that you're okay, and once you walk in and you see a porter bringing a wheelchair to you, that's when I know that I'm the chairperson of Kgebu Association now. That means I'm deep within it now. And the mind would always say, nah, go in, I'll stay here, wait for you to come out, because my mind would just take strolls around, they wouldn't just leave me behind. But when I came back, that was when they gave me 9 pills, whereby it was 3 in the morning, 3 during the day, and 3 at night. Started taking them, and my godfather was like, why don't you go back to school? I don't understand why you're just sitting here and not going to school. Then I registered with college, trying to do IT management.
So you were able to pick up after the hospital?
Not really pick up.
Okay.
But I was just drinking medication, but instead of getting better, I was getting worse.
Yeah.
So the way it went, I even had to freeze my accounts at school because I thought my kidneys, because everything was burning behind where my kidneys are. So I assumed it was my kidneys. I think it was around April, May 2016. Yeah. That's when everything started. I told my godfather that, nah, I can't go on anymore, because I already paid my school fees for a year advance. So they had to freeze my accounts. Then I went there, keep going to the hospital. They don't see anything. So now the medication, it is working, but now the challenge is that the immune system already is compromised. And once it's compromised, it opened a platform for opportunistic infections. So these opportunistic infections, they started coming in way thick and fast, because now the immune system can't fight off every germ that's coming in the body, because already it is compromised. So we went to a different hospital this time. I went back to Sparrows, and Sparrows took me to the hospital. That's when they called my mom, started doing the test. They couldn't find anything, even though I had a huge lump on my back. I had a huge lump here. You could see the lumps, but they're trying to run sonars, scans. They can't see anything. They're saying, we cannot operate something we can't see. I'm like, here is it, you can see. They said, but we don't know if are there any veins nearby, because once we operate, we might cut veins and it might lead into something, because the way we are so sick, we can't do an operation on you. Then there was this Indian doctor. I said, no man, go pee on the cup and let's run the test. Then I went, I peed on the cup and said, you can wait for like 3 hours. Had to run the test because the labs are just there by the hospital. So when they came back, said, hey, now we'll try and give him medication, but it's all up to him. Does he want to live or does he want to die? So the doctor told us that I had EPTB. Like EPTB, I only know TB and TB from the lungs. Said, no, you don't have, your lungs are okay, you don't have lung TB, but you have blood and spinal TB. So we'll try and give you medication. And I was like, ish. And it was the same year when Lundi died.
Okay.
In 2016. Same things that he suffered from. That was the same things that I had. Same. Everything. I think his extra, it was just the stomach thing. The stomach TB, if I'm not mistaken. So we had the very same similar things. Then I was like, yeah, ne. I saw him writing a prescription. Hey, that was the longest prescription I've ever seen in my life. When we went there, because you just submit your prescription and you sit by the benches. So I know that I submitted my prescription there by Windows 6.
Yeah, by the pharmacy.
Yeah, by the pharmacy.
Yeah.
So now, this one going there, coming with these pills. Huge pile of pills picking up. I'm like, no, are those all my pills? And when they came back, it was all my pills. Whereby now, out of the 9 they gave me, it was 333. The doctor added with 20 on top, which is from that 333, it was 23, 23, 23 a day it was 69 pills.
Sure.
That I had to take. And I had to take them for 9 months full. So in that 9 months full, then they started healing this part. And after healing this part, that's when from the back it started popping bigger. And from the back, they couldn't see anything. I would lay with my back like this. Like, aren't you hating yourself? I'm like, even painkillers weren't working on me because whenever I drank painkillers, I would sweat. And once you started sweating, it's a sign of drug resistant. That means that pills aren't working for you. So even this day, whenever I have headache, I don't drink painkillers, I don't drink anything because that mindset's still stuck on. Those things don't work on me. So even when it was a couple of days I had headaches and like, why aren't you taking something for the headache? I'm like, it will just go away by itself. I just drink water and it goes away. So it started going there home and now I have this huge pile of pills. I remember my mom's friend said, why don't you move those pills there? Aren't you scared that Prince is going to try and commit suicide with that? I'm like, I don't think it's that type to commit suicide. It never passed my mind to commit suicide. It was something that was never on my mind. Instead, that was what was on my mind. It was, I think I'm here for a reason. Because 2004, I got sick, started medication. Here I am. I'm sick. I think God was just trying to lead me in a different route whereby it wasn't going to be easy. It's going to be hard and painful. You need to go through that so that once you come back, you are a different person now. You are a different person whereby you could be a living testimony. The late Nkosi Johnson came to show people, but he couldn't testify that you can come back from that. But with myself, I was able to come back from that. And now use your story to try and motivate people. So it went from that 6 months of being partially paralyzed because after it popped, pus came out, a lot of things came out from my back. Even when the doctor was cleaning it from the back, I could literally feel him touch my spine because it was just few millimeters away from, I think it was 0.3 away from millimeters from my spine. So after that, I thought things were going to be easier. Then I went and said, no, I wrote this, go to the nurse, they'll give you an injection to clean everything. That injection made things worse. After she gave me that injection, my leg, literally, it was like this and it cramped, it stayed like this for 6 months. I couldn't just move it out.
Was it swelling?
No, it wasn't swelling, it was cramped up like this. It only started swelling here on my thigh. And now the heat, it became unbearable that now it was getting to my testicles. Whereby I had to take initiative on myself because they can't see it. I even went as far as getting a razor blade and sterilizing it and cutting it myself. And after I cut it, I had to put ice cold water to cool it down. Even an ice cube, I'll place it here. Give it 30 seconds, it will melt. That was how hot it was. Because even my skin was peeling on how hot it was. So I had to put cold water and do the cut myself and just drain everything out. And after I did that, the relief I found from that, it was so much better that I felt like, yeah, now this is it. I was able to stretch out my leg and everything became okay. And after 9 months, I stopped the medication, the EPTB and the EPTB medication. Then I was just on 3 pills. Then after that, I got my results. They told me that because I think I had close to 10 million copies. So it went down to less than 1,000.
Wow.
That's when they stopped the 3 medications and I was back to 1 pill, which it was DTG by that time. When they introduced the TLD for the first time, the doctor called me and like, hey, yo, here's a new pill. They say it's much stronger and it's improved. It can suppress you in less than 3 weeks. We're going to try this on you. Are you okay with it? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. And after I started that, from less than 1,000 to less than 20 were lower than the detectable limit, I was virally suppressed. But I was still skinny. Then said, no, the weight picking up and the CD4 count picking up, it will take time. As you can see now, I'm gaining weight. Like, hey, even now I'm complaining, like, nah, my jeans don't fit me anymore. Like, I miss that old body.
Yeah.
But now it's something that's in the past, whereby I even joke about. Hence, I was the Heu Association, because I couldn't say Maheu. Like, what do you want? Then like, what? No, he's saying Maheu, bring him Maheu. So I make jokes out of it so that people can see that, like, this guy is making fun of it while he's teaching about it. Because I don't just say to people, take medication, take medication. We have people who are taking medication and still they don't understand what's that medication for. There's PrEP that protects you from getting HIV and people don't know how it works. There's PEP that if you have been exposed to HIV, you have less than 72 hours to get to a health facility so that they can flush it out. People don't know about that on how it works. Most people say, why aren't you working in a health facility?
Once and for all, man.
I used to work there up until they took me and they threw me in the bundus, whereby when I say in the bundus, whereby you could just wake up and open a window, see a cow passing by, livestock passing by, there's no roads. You can see that. I was like, how can you just hoy me here? Because how would I do that job? Because here you are throwing me in those people who are stigmatized. Because when I moved there was like, no, stop telling people about your HIV status. People will run away from you. Like, how will I stop? Because my face, it's, if you can go to Joburg, my face, it's all over billboards, TV adverts, that's my face being there. So I won't lie about that. Then I couldn't see the improvement, but up until I left. Because I only worked there for like 1 year and 8 months, then I resigned. Because now the whole environment and everything, it was getting to me mentally. It was, I think I just needed a break away from Joburg, because I think it was in 2021. On the 13th of October, I lost my brother. Then on the 14th, my mom had stroke. She was hit by a stroke 3 times. On the 21st, I buried my brother. On the 22nd, my mom passed on. So it was something that was hard for me to accept, whereby that 6 months, it was just me just doing my own things, but I was still on medication. But I just wanted to fill that hole that they both left. So I needed just away from Joburg. But as soon as I was there, I started losing friends, people I know, they passed on and stuff. So that thing got to me mentally. Even the job I was doing, I love what I'm doing, but I couldn't love it anymore because they wanted this, they wanted that. No, don't do this, do that, do that. I found myself doing 5 things, whereby out of those 5 things, there are people who has degrees doing that, but I'm doing their job and even better than them. I wasn't compensated enough, so it went to my head whereby I ended up like, nah,
I gotta be out.
I can't do this. I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I feel drained. Can you imagine when your alarm goes on in the morning and you're like, nah, you need to change something. You can't be sad.
Yeah.
I was also like, yes, finally I'm going to work. But now, like, up until I moved. And since I'm not working, what I'm doing is that I'm just doing this social media thing. And look, I'm still happy when doing it. They said, you're happy you're not getting paid, but you're still doing it, and your patience, it's out of this world. I said, if it's something that I love doing, compensate me enough, then I'll do it.
Yeah, just in closing, man, to the people who have stopped their medication, because I know there's a lot of them. If we have almost 20% of the population in South Africa living with HIV, I know for sure that we have people that are consistently drinking their medication. We have people that have dropped their medication. You know, we have people that they don't even know that they are HIV positive. What would you say to them?
All I can say is that for one to stop medication doesn't just stop medication. It's lack of information. People stop medication and don't drink medication because of lack of information. I can't say just take this and drink this, then you'll be okay. Why are you drinking it? Why should I drink it every day? Give them that relevant information for them to understand. In that way, they'll be like, oh, so I need to take this in order for me to suppress the virus. And once it's suppressed, I'm healthy as umuntu HIV negative. Nothing changes. Because the way I'm so very suppressed, if we can test, it will just give me 1 line, not 2 lines. You'll think I'm HIV negative. That's how good it is. So people don't get that information. They just say, take your medication and all that. So once we can improve in the way we give out information. Remember back in the 2000s, the scrutinize, Sister Bettina, it was always there in our faces. That's how we got information. That's how actually we got scared of HIV. But right now, it's like, no, take your medication, take PrEP, then everything will be all right. Not everyone gets that full information. But once you can learn to get, and guys, I know Google is the best, and in everything people rely on Google. Yes, it's okay, but Google doesn't give you that much information that you need, because in terms of understanding, we have like right now, the medication that I'm drinking is TLD. It's T is for tenofovir, L is for lamivudine, and D is for dolutegravir. You get those names. Nobody understands those names. But if you get someone who can break it down for you and on how it works, it becomes easy.
My brother, thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate you, Mr. Prince.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
It's Prince Wadi.
HIV Talks.
Thank you.